Hey, what's up, guys? Britton here. I've been thinking a little bit about what long-term effects feminism is going to have on human reproduction. It's an interesting topic, and I haven't read too much into it, but it's just kind of something I've been thinking about. I've noticed a lot on like online dating, Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid, all those platforms, that many women proudly proclaim that they're feminists, and some of them even go as far as to say that they want someone who is a feminist. They want a male feminist as a mate. And I don't really buy that for a second. I think, first of all, most women who call themselves feminists are probably just deeply confused, because I don't really believe that there are actually that many people who have that sort of social justice warrior mentality, that like angry feminist mentality, you know? And I get especially confused when I see a very attractive woman call herself a feminist, you know? It's like, come on, you know, who are you sticking up for exactly? You know, you're in a position where you can probably have any man who you want, and there's just no reason for your own sake to do that, apart from the fact that you're a woman, perhaps, and you have maybe a somewhat typical personality of a woman. You're relatively higher than men in agreeableness, so you're more likely to participate in group identity politics and stuff like that. So maybe you're just a little more moldable in that way. So you hear a cause and you prefer to, you know, jump at that cause and stand up for it. But in the long run, I don't think it's going to be a very good thing. A lot of people who call themselves feminists, obviously, well, they're pretty much all, you know, far left, politically speaking. So they also may be of the opinion that, you know, the world would be better off without humans, and that, you know, hey, I'm doing a good thing for humanity by not having a kid, because generally speaking, feminists don't want kids either. And I think that's, you know, first of all, counterproductive for humanity, because there's no evidence out there, no real evidence that suggests that we are going to run out of resources and not be able to provide for all the people in the world, or that our world is overpopulated already. There's just not really any evidence that that is the case. In fact, I think that the population by about 2100 is projected to be about 10 billion, and then it's projected to drop a bit. So if those projections are correct, and you know, science usually does a pretty decent job in predicting those sorts of things, then, you know, there's nothing really for us to worry about, you know. Not saying that we shouldn't investigate alternative fuel and alternative resources and things like that. It's definitely a good idea to experiment with, to see if there is anything else out there that would be a good way forward, in case we run out of the fossil fuels that we've been using for such a long time. But yeah, there's just no evidence on that basis that you know, that's something we should do. So, but anyway, you know, I haven't. I've talked to a few feminists on online dating sites. My last video and blog post was about that, and you can check that out if you like. But they just don't really present themselves in a way that is appealing to most men. Seeing the word feminist, it's the F word. It's worse than, you know, the actual F word to most of us, and it scares us off, you know. We see an attitude that we don't want to have to deal with. So, you know, I charge women to go out and, you know, use that label as little as possible for themselves if they actually want to attract a quality mate. And what I mean by a quality mate is not that, I'm not saying that feminists don't want, I'm not saying that most women who aren't feminists don't want someone who is compassionate and sympathetic and nice even, but I think when push comes to shove, you know, men are generally more assertive, and they're a little darker and a little more complex, and a woman wants a man with those characteristics, because she typically is different than that. And that's why men and women work together. That's why we like each other, because we are different, and we take on different roles, generally speaking. And then that's the whole gender role thing is another issue that we could debate later. But I don't know. Those are just a few of my thoughts about what effects that feminism is going to have on long-term reproduction. And I think if this feminism, this wave of feminism continues, most men are going to be profoundly disinterested in women, and that's going to hurt both of us, both men and women, and it's going to hurt humanity in general. But generally speaking, it comes down to the individual, and there are specific exceptions to every general rule. So just be a judge of yourself, of what you want exactly in a mate. And if you are a woman who calls herself a feminist, just know that if you are out there looking for a male feminist to date, and you find that he's not really going to be a real man. He's going to be a pushover. He's going to be unassertive. He's going to be a social justice warrior, a weak moral being, probably just like you. So just be aware of that when push comes to shove, he's not going to really stand up for you. He's going to be just as much of a pussy as you are. So that's really all I have for now about that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, happy dating, guys. All right, cheers.